Okay, hello everyone. Kaii Marie here, coming on really quick, doing a really quick live. So my camera is up here, my laptop is down here, so I'm gonna be kind of like looking back and forth. But welcome. This is the Healing Element Podcast conversation slash the Kaii Marie YouTube channel. So I wanted to come on really quick. It's been a while since I've been on. I had a lot of things happen personally in my life over the last several months. And then January in particular, I had a life changing um, situation, if you will, that happened regarding my mom. So my mom, she transitioned the end of January, and that has been extremely tough, very challenging to, I don't know, just each day it's been very hard. So because of that, I have taken some time away from posting on social media, really being active, and also the podcast. So I wanted to come on just to provide that update as to why there haven't been the consistent posts on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel. Just dealing with that, processing now, kind of in this space, in this world, on this journey without my mom here in physical form, knowing that she is with me spiritually, although not here with me physically. So this has been, some days I'm okay, and then other days I'm just not, to be honest, not okay at all. But I want to say a special thank you to my husband, who has been my rock, my support, my I can't even imagine going through this without him. He has been there holding my hand, holding me every step of the way. And also a big thank you to my family, for also just rallying around me with their prayers, their love, their support, and their encouragement. Again, I could not get, I don't want to say get through, but I could not kind of be where I am today to be on camera and talk about this if it wasn't for the love and support that I have from my friends and from family. So I am so grateful that I do not have to walk through this process alone. Extremely grateful and extremely blessed. So wanted to kind of start with explaining kind of the long absence from posting. But with that being said, during this time, I've had time to kind of reflect about how I'm showing up in this space as I go through my own grieving and healing process. And I'm sure with everything that has gone on, especially in the past 2 years, a lot of other folks are grieving, healing, dealing with different type of traumas that have occurred and continue to occur in their life, because there was traumatic experiences that were happening in our lives before COVID. So now we're in a space where now we have COVID, now we have stuff that's going on international, and that all can cause us to be very anxious, can cause us to be worried, and maybe not even living the life that we desire of having fun and having excitement, because we are so consumed with fear, worry, maybe even doubt. So, kind of taking that all in and taking a step back to reflect on the relationship that I had with my mom, um, reflect on this new um, way that I'm processing her not being here with me anymore. Um, it's made me think about how, again, how I'm going to show up on the podcast and how I will be showing up on the YouTube channel. So I wanted to share with you, there have already been some changes to the podcast, the Healing Element podcast, which we talk, yes, about historical trauma. Yes, we talk about generational trauma. We also talk about practical steps and tips that you can use to begin to really live a holistic lifestyle. And I think that's important because as we age, it's important that we have a strong, healthy body. Now, I want to pause for one moment there. You can eat healthy, do everything right, and still get sick. So I'm not saying this is like a fail proof method of not getting sick. But if we can do, what we can do is reduce getting high blood pressure, or any other type of chronic disease, but what we do with our lifestyle, we can begin to dramatically reduce those type of ailments as we age. So with this channel, and also with the podcast, I really want to bring more of that to the audience. And I say that because when I think about my mom, who for years suffered from multiple sclerosis, I didn't know a lot about multiple sclerosis. I didn't know what type of food she shouldn't eat. And I wasn't really aware of how do I manage this being so far away. So what I want to do is to provide as much education as possible for those that are suffering from chronic illnesses or who just want to live a lifestyle that prevents them from getting chronic illnesses the best that we can, because there are other factors that are out of our control. What can I kind of pour into that audience so that way they feel like, wow, okay, now I know foods I should probably cut out. Now I know lifestyle changes I have to make. I know financially what I need to start doing to kind of alleviate some of the stress that I may be feeling right now because of spending habits or because of maybe investments that were not as solid as they needed to be. So that's what I really want to bring to the podcast, is bring on people, experts who are in those fields of health, nutrition, overall wellness, and we can talk about what are steps that you can make as an individual, as a household, to live that powerful, holistic life. And yes, will chaos happen around you? Absolutely. There's things that are out of our control. But if you can go home and have peace at home, both your physical home and your inward home, then that's what we want to accomplish. And you can definitely do that with that power of holistic living. And I will say during this last few weeks, this belief in the power of holistic living, that's taking care of my spiritual health, my mental health, my physical health, that has helped tremendously during this grieving process. And I really want, what I go through in my life, I want to share some of that with you all in any way that can help inspire you, encourage you, and motivate you when you are going through extremely challenging times. So you're going to see more of that on this podcast. We'll have nutritionists and experts that can really help you drill down to live holistically. So I hope that you stay with us during this pivot period. And there will be a time, I will say, for the next couple months, I will not be posting. You will not see any new episodes. There's going to be a little bit of time, just taking some time. And if you saw in the description, I'm talking about listening to your intuition. So I am going to touch upon that. But for the next couple months, you're not going to see as many episodes. I'm going to kind of slow down for a moment as I begin to really focus on my own healing. I have a few other projects going on that I really have to pour into, and I want to make sure that I'm not depleting myself by trying to get out as much information as possible. So thank you so much for bearing with me during this process. So I will say that although I will not be having the episodes for the Healing Element podcast yet, we'll probably start up episodes in the fall or so. I will be active on the Kaii Marie YouTube channel. Now, the Kaii Marie YouTube channel is the place that you can watch the episodes of the Healing Element podcast. But the Kaii Marie YouTube channel, there's a little bit more than just the podcast. So I also have the Tea with Kaii Marie. That will also start up in the fall of 2022. That will start back up. So in the interim, what I will be doing is posting a little bit of lifestyle videos. Example, what am I doing for breakfast to make sure that I'm getting my nutrients? Working out, what type of workouts have I incorporated into my routine, again, to live holistically? What am I doing for my spiritual health, my mental and emotional health? So I want to show you what this could look like for you on a daily basis. So I'll be just uploading videos to share that with you all. So I thank you again for your support during this time of transition. Also wanted to let you know my Journey to the Self Facebook group. I'm starting to get more active on that. I did kind of slow things down during the passing of my mom, but I am starting to post more, be a little bit more engaged in that group. We have our yoga that's going to be starting up next Wednesday. It is Journey to the Self Facebook group. It's free to join, so definitely want to join. We actually have a challenge that's going to start up next Monday, and it is the 30-day challenge, 30 days of working out, 30 days no sugar. So if that's something that you would be interested in, I would love for you to join us in that. It's going to be fun. Also have the Wellness Inspired Living. That is a membership that is going to kick off in 2022. There you'll have access to master classes, yoga videos, so much more. We're going to have yoga astrology, and this again, all things holistic living. And that membership is really for people that are ready to kind of kick that holistic wellness, or holistic living, I should say, kick it up a notch. So if you're like, you know what, I need to get my finances in order, we're going to be drilling down on, okay, how do I save? How do I budget? How do I invest? We're really going to be tapping into those things because, like, if you guys have heard me talk before, even on my Instagram, I talk about this wellness wheel, and on this wellness wheel, there's all these different dimensions of wellness. And once you begin to kind of learn how to balance all of these different parts of the wellness wheel, that's when you're living this holistic lifestyle. And so that's what I want to bring to you in the monthly membership. So there'll be more information about that rolling out coming up over as we go into the next few weeks, as we go in, I should say next few months, as we go into the spring, into the summer, and of course into the fall. So wanted to share that with you guys, and kind of rounding this out. I did mention about your intuition and the importance of listening to that intuitive nature that you have, importance of when you have that little voice inside you that is kind of giving that guidance on what to do. And that is something that is powerful. And I have found the way to really hone in on your intuition and really listen and follow it is through meditating. And when you hear that little voice, to follow what it says. And when you begin to do that, the more you do it, the louder the voice gets, and the more you kind of get in a groove. And that's one thing right now, as I'm going through this process, I heard that little voice tell me to slow down. I have multiple projects going on right now, but now is the time to slow down, regroup, and just kind of set up things how they need to flow. And so for me right now, that means to pause on the Healing Element podcast, to pause on the Tea with Kaii Marie, because right now I need some time to pour back into myself. And I also need time to reground myself, kind of in this new space now without my dear mama, and just adjusting to that change. So listen to your intuition is a gift. It is something that you should treasure, and it's something that you should really begin to pay close attention to. Listening to your intuition can help you avoid a lot of heartache, a lot of drama. And so the best way to do that is really to spend that quiet time with yourself. Spend that quiet time through meditation, maybe through prayer. But it's just important for you to just hear your voice. And, right now we kind of live in this world where we're constantly being talked at, right? We're constantly being told what to think, how to think, what not to think about, what you should think about. You should do this. You need to be doing this. And when that happens, we are getting completely drowned out about who and what we are, and what is our inner world even saying. So I encourage you, when I'm saying having that quiet time, it's also beginning to cancel out the noise. And how do you do that? Maybe it's shutting down social media. Maybe it's not listening to the news. Maybe it's not listening to people, and having that sacred time to yourself. There's always going to be a lot of things and voices and a lot of stuff happening around us that we cannot control. But what we can control is what happens in our house, our physical house that we live in, that structure, but also our inner house. And so I just encourage you, take that time for yourself. It is extremely important, especially with everything that we have going on right now in the world. And it would be great if I can say things are just going to get better. We don't know how things are going to get. And one thing that I try to do is be extremely real on my podcast, be extremely real how I show up in social media, and in my own life. We don't know. I wish I could say things are going to get better. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's important for us to ground ourselves. It's important for us to listen to the voice that's within us and have quiet time where we're not always listening to these voices that are around us. And I think that's extremely important. And I think that's why my inner voice was telling me that it was time for me to stop and pause and begin to pour in myself, because that's what I need to do during this time of great transition that's happening in my personal life, but also in the world around me. So wanted to come on really quick. Thank you all so much for your support and encouragement during this time. I received so many text messages and messages on Facebook, just with so much love. And I appreciate that very much. And be sure to go over to the Kaii Marie YouTube channel, where I'll be posting some lifestyle videos. You'll see the hubster, if he's watching, you'll see the hubster make some appearances as well. And just showing you how I live a holistic lifestyle and how I've incorporated that into my household. So I will check in with you guys soon. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you later. And remember, cancel out that noise and get you some quiet space. All right, guys. Bye.